Great. All right. So, last session, after the ritual with Shaddoc, since the crew wasn't going to be sticking around, nor the ship, you guys had helped with, making sure the ship was in tip-top shape. Melanie picked things up, put them down. Zaitari used animate object to help with mast repair. And Ronny was helping the crew get their morale up because, hey, you guys have been attacked by were sharks, devil sharks, coral drakes, a foggy singing entity of fog that.
Foggy Bottom Boys.
Anyway.
Jesus.
Once you guys got that sorted out, it was time to decide what to do with Shaddoc. It was discussed, and it was you guys decided that she would meet Theo at the Circle of Teleportation in Valido, and he would take her to Rosewater Keep. So you guys explained to her what was going on, said your goodbyes, and ventured forth into the jungle. You guys traveled to Shillin, having a hero's feast beforehand. The first night was pretty uneventful. Just some lilies blooming. Saw some howler monkeys. Saw other monkeys eat other monkeys. It was pretty uneventful. The next day, you guys had to circumnavigate around a crying ogre holding a doll. And because of said circumnavigation, you guys went to cross a stream, but then discovered it was full of skulls. And then the tree attacked you by throwing a skull at you guys. And
yes, the middle school boys' dream tree.
Yes.
It's this tree but skulls.
Exactly. Skulls upon skulls upon skulls. On that note, I got the door decoration with the skull and crossbones for my house in Animal Crossing. And I immediately took that out of my house.
Man, I feel like my store has such shit. But anyways, to keep going.
I found it on a balloon. I also now have a skeleton in my house, which is pretty rad.
That's sick.
Yeah. If I see one in the store, I'll buy it for you. Anyways, so you guys crossed the stream after you took out the tree, which Shillin told you was called a jubokko. It is when a tree gets saturated with so much blood that it sucks up the blood and becomes a cursed skull blood tree that generates bushels of tiny skull bushes around it when it cannot accumulate any more skulls. Anyways, you guys continue on. And the next night, Ronny saw an ankylosaurus. Raine saw a pack of lizard, wolf, dog things being led by a half-blood yuan-ti. And Melanie and Zaitari saw a white multi-tailed fox. It was very pretty. You guys then, on the next day, trekked through the Crimson Peaks to reach Mount Urgoth, which is the active volcano that lies close by the city of Scales, in order to speak with a tribe of Jinborn, who might have some more information on the current going-ons of the city. While talking to them, they had told you that they were in the process of packing up and leaving, because there are rumors that the yuan-ti have reawakened some type of deity, and they weren't going to stick around to find out. The deity's name, you guys learned at the end of the session, was Anith. And Tilda remembered Anith being the deity that the yuan-ti back in Gadaran attempted to resurrect before they were all thwarted. And that is where we are today. So, anybody have what you guys want to do? You guys are still at the entrance of the Jinborn's tribe, talking with Jorlot and Parfali, the two guards to the entrance of the tribe.
Remind me why we were here again.
Info gathering.
On the city of yuan-ti.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Basically, they live the
which we're
closest to
going
it,
to.
so
Which we're going to for that you got item thing.
Yeah,
yes.
that I knew.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
I
believe.
forgot that for a while.
Who would do a thing like that?
When Shillin recommended that we come here, the reason why, obviously, is to gather information, but was it because they would know more about the specific creature that we're targeting, or just the state of the city in general?
They would know more about the city in general. Shillin
Okay.
doesn't knows general gist about yuan-ti, but
Mhm.
as far as things that are currently going on in the city of Scales, she doesn't go in there for obvious reasons.
Mhm.
We need the most recent 411, current patrols, current forces, anything extraordinary, about this deity, if it's been seen, if it's been active, or, whatever.
Okay. Joe Lat, the person you were talking, the female Jimborn that you were talking to initially, says that there's a couple of scouts still in the tribe proper. The others have been sent out to make sure their trekking path is safe for their next location. A few of them can talk to you about current numbers of forces they estimate. As far as seeing the deity, the so-called deity, or any other news about the deity, they might be able to give you some information. They tend to run into a lot of their patrolling forces in the Black Cloud Forest that surrounds the city of Scales. So yeah, that they can do that. So Parfali will leave to go grab a scout or two. And a few minutes later, he comes back with a pair of Jinborn. Both of them are male. Many numerous scars adorn their their shoulders and their arms. Their faces are partially covered, like the Jinborn that you were talking to at the entrance. One he gestures to, one without hair, is named. There we go. He gestures to a bald Jinboard named Masad, and the younger individual who has multiple braids. He is Belair. And he says these individuals can probably give you a couple more details on what kind of numbers you might be dealing with. Jorlat excuses themselves to go back into the tribe to help out with preparations.
Can I ask, what do these people actually look like? Do they look human? Do they look...
Let me give you a pretty this is what the woman much looks like, except her skin is a deeper shade of a reddish brown. So let me get that.
I was about to say, I don't see an image, so...
I'm working on it.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. There we go. Her.
Okay.
Yeah. Their ears are rather pointy. Not as long and as elongated as an elf, but she's pretty, she herself is about maybe easily 170 pounds. Um,
Sure, I
Yeah.
can picture that. No.
How
How tall is she?
She's about so her the Parfarley is about 6 feet tall. She's about
Okay.
5'10". Yeah, so they're a little they're pretty they're taller than the average human height for the most part. The two current ones that have been brought in front of you, they're around the same height as Parfarley, so about 6 feet tall.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, they are like a brown red, brick red skin color.
Must get very tiring crouching like that all day, all the time.
Exactly. Um,
Perhaps, no.
the older man Masad, does a shallow bow to you and says, "My name is Masad. I'm one of the scouts for the area. You said you need information on the yuan-ti forces."
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Blake.
Nope, other game.
I can't get the hell out of here.
Yes, we need to know. We'll be going into the city, and we would very much appreciate some sort of idea of where we are going,
Okay.
what we should expect.
So like general population and things of that nature you were looking
Anything out
yes.
of the ordinary as well. If you've noticed any changes or anything specifically dangerous that you would like to mention.
Sure. Yes.
Potential layout of the city is helpful as well.
Okay.
Yes.
I can give you a pretty general layout. Most of us have only been around the outside, so we can tell you like where the major like landmarks are by construction wise. But the city of Scales is about, and he's like Belair, you'd say about at this point 300,000, and Belair's like, yeah, that's about right. About 300,000 denizens.
Okay.
Just to put that into perspective, would that be like the size of Vox?
That would put it on par with Vox.
Okay.
Jesus.
Okay. All right. Great. Wonderful. Zaitari looks
Do we really need this thing, guys?
Yes.
taken
Oh.
aback. And says, "Whoa, holy shit! Okay, that's
I'd say about a little over half of them, Masad says, are yuan-ti. The other half are humanoids like yourselves, elves, half-orcs, dwarves, most of them slaves. If all of them
Ooh.
slaves.
I had a great
slaves.
idea, guys.
no."
Yes, master. And where that's going.
Guys, we just need to start a fucking slave revolt. It would be the
Oh.
best cover, and then we can just waltz in, do what we need to do, while all the slaves are revolting. We give them weapons, we give them magic, we give them whatever they need, fuck some shit up, and then just let them do their thing. And
Yes,
while
because
all
we
this is
can
happening,
definitely stay in the jungle for months to organize a slave revolt.
it wouldn't be that hard. You have so much, like, image magic. We could definitely... And Raine can pick literally every lock on the planet. We could definitely start a slave revolt in, like, a week.
Oh yes, because we can stay here for a week when your Triton daughter is back at our place.
Yeah, she's safe.
Missing you
She's safe.
in a foreign environment.
That's a good point. I just really want to start a riot. Alright, fine. It's a backup plan. Continue with your description, please.
I just imagine Melanie's just sulking in the corner eating some rations.
I am.
He will, let's see, draw out a crude map, which is not very crude.
A crude
This
map
is
that's
what
not
this-
very crude?
There's the map.
Okay.
Right there. All right.
Use our imaginations, make it crude.
Hmm.
Pretend it's being drawn on a piece of parchment, and it doesn't look
Yeah,
that good.
not in color.
Not in color. Um, so he points out a few locations in the. Well, he asks you first. What's your end goal? Like, where are you trying to go? Who are you trying to get? Is there any? Do you have like a end goal point?
Yes.
Yes.
Mummy Lich names. Hold on. I gotta actually look at it. Actually look at it. Hold on. Zaxidus.
Oh, then he'll probably be in the pit of vipers.
Wonderful.
Cool.
Also, we're actually looking for an artifact that he holds.
If it's on him, or if it belongs on him, probably the pit of vipers. The pit of vipers, Masad explains, is their central worshipping point.
Awesome.
It's a holy ground where they keep one of their largest egg chambers. Um,
Oh.
I think Shillin said that,
okay.
if I remember correctly.
Okay, guys, this sounds like it's really, really gonna be just going so poorly. We are gonna
Are
sneak
you
into
saying
a
this,
whole-
Lynn? Or is Melanie saying this?
Okay, hold on. What are we going to do? This is a whole city of yuan-ti. Largest number of people we've ever fought is like what, 20? I mean, we fought a lot of were sharks, but it's not nearly this many people. This
We're not going to fight the whole city.
once
Melanie.
we all know how our missions always end, don't we?
Okay. Well, here we go. Couple things. All right.
Should have bought a bottle of endless air.
Tilda has seeming, which is going to make us all look like we belong there. I have polymorph or major image to create a distraction, and we also have our deck of illusions, which we can use for more distractions. If need be, I can make us invisible. It will use up a lot of my magic, but it can still work. Then we get to the Pit of Vipers. I can cast Locate Creature to find the person that we're looking for, and hopefully take care of it. And then, once everything is said and done, we have the item in hand and we're ready to leave. Ronny will get us the fuck out.
The first you drew here, the Pit of Vipers, about how large is the building, the complex?
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Given the size of it from afar, you see, he's trying to get numbers on his head. So the Pit of Vipers main building is like a steeped structure. So it's about at top height. It's about 60 meters high. Lengthwise.
What's that freedom mean?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No. Please give it to us in feet.
Okay. Feet.
200, more or less.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very
We're
similar.
not playing with Prime. You know, we all grew up with the Imperial system.
It's comparable to the Pyramid of the Sun in Mexico, at the Aztec temple. So about lengthwise, you're looking at about widthwise, you're looking at the base 230 or 760 feet.
Okay, big, but not like 70 stories of
No.
bullshit, you know?
No, not 70 stories of bullshit.
What would be the best way for us to approach to get to the Pit of Vipers? Obviously, I see that there's bridges connecting everything.
Yes.
But
if I were to mount a infiltration mission into the Pit of Vipers, other than masquerading as slaves, which might be a small problem. Do you have copious amounts of perfume on you?
Not copious.
Also, did you not hear my rant to our companion here? We have a spell which can help, unless you think
Well-
illusion magic will not suffice.
Here's the problem. Does that illusion magic cover your smell?
I don't know. Hold on.
Because he explains the humanoid races, elves, humans, whatnot, they give off a stench that the yuan-ti find quite unbearable unless covered with perfume.
Oh,
Oh.
I have perfume.
Yeah. So if you have perfume, and that could help.
What sorts of perfume?
Never really thought about it. Floral.
Just
is
something strong.
something strong. Floral.
Floral, like roses?
Roses might work.
Yes.
Things of that nature. As long as it covers your like, it overpowers your natural scent, you should be okay. Because
What does oil of slipperiness smell like?
not like
good question.
flowers.
Smells like bananas.
Oh,
We
God.
also have
doesn't matter.
It's oil with slipperiness. Of course it's gonna smell like that. You know,
But the thing is, we don't have to smell good. We just have to not smell human.
Yeah, that's the
So-
yeah, Masad was getting at.
But we also have the natural bug repellent. Zaitari always keeps some oils on her for perfume, so that can definitely work. We'll just have to those scarves that we have. We'll need to. Never mind. Hold on. Let me just do this as Zaitari. All right. Well, I have a lot of perfume, and we all have scarves that we bought for the journey. So, using what I have, and it's a decent amount, we should be able to, at the very least, soak our scarves, put them on our necks, and then, well, the magic will make it seem like we're not wearing any.
Okay. So Masad says, if I were you, and if I were going to sneak into the pit of vipers, he points out the cliff behind the pit of vipers. I'd go in through that way. If I had the means to. But before that, if I could, I don't know the layout of the pit of vipers, like the building itself. Like nobody knows the layout unless you capture a slave or a denizen. And you could do that probably by capturing somebody from the Varel Olo cloister. I know that a lot of their clerics and priests live in that cloister when they're not active at the Pit of Vipers. Because I'd like to know the structure I would be infiltrating. Or you could just go in and take your chances. But I would
Did
sneak
the
in.
doors seal?
The doors do seal. And there are probably underground pathways underneath all the buildings of the city. The yuan-ti love using underground tunnels to get from place to place.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
How often do you have to worry about yuan-ti or patrols that can see through invisibility?
Most
Or
of,
illusions.
most of the time, it's the mage slayers, and the mage slayers are probably most prominent around the Pit of Vipers, the the scaled halls of Zahir, and the Serpent Arena. The Emerald Point and Asp Plaza are the marketplace, are the residential area and marketplace, respectively.
I'm sorry, did anyone else hear Ass Plaza?
Yes, but it's Asp
Asp,
Plaza.
like,
Okay.
Dead ass.
I know it was. Continue.
Massage continues. Now there is a chance that your target is at World Serpent's call. Being the leader, and if Enith has actually been resurrected, the last avatar of the Serpent Gods was situated at Serpent's Call. Kind of like an oracle type of position. But I would try to capture one of the denizens of the cloister, beat or charm the information of the layout of the pit dividers out of them, and sneak into the pit of vipers either through the cliff or going by the waterway that goes right past it.
Raine, if you were to go into the cloister invisibly, also with the seeming, just to be safe. Actually, now that I think about this, would the yuan-ti be able to smell us rather than see us?
And it depends on what kind of magic you're employing, but you see Masad trying to... because I am that one that is, usually use magic on by myself. Just trying to judge what I've seen. It's possible they'll smell you, but with the perfume, it shouldn't be a problem. Unless you try to cover
What about
up...
invisibly?
You should be able to get past them, but...
Okay.
Again, I myself have never employed such magics.
Then I will continue my point. Raine, if you were to go in invisibly, with the portable hole, we would be around. One of us could be a distraction to try and lure a yuan-ti, I don't know, alone or something. We use the portable hole, trap it, and then we kind of do a small retreat, do the questioning. Do you think you'd be able to do that?
It depends on their capabilities. I could possibly knock them out if I got in just the right spot. I'm not used to yuan-ti anatomy. Also, the portable hole, if they're down there, they can break out of it. It might take more than 10 minutes. Actually, I think it's 10 minutes, but it might take more than a few minutes.
That is a good point. I did forget that people can actually break out of it. Then...
But if we were to put them in a bag of holding, they couldn't, right?
No, they can't.
That you can break out of a bag of holding?
I'm fairly sure anything can break out of... if it can be opened, they can try.
Bags of holding generally can't hold people.
That too.
If
it was
polymorph, you make him into a
halflings.
weasel, you shove him in a bag, done.
Wouldn't the weasel suffocate?
I mean, yeah, eventually.
It would actually have more air probably in the bag of holding or portable hole than it would if it was a full-size person. But I'll just take that to be that Melanie suggests that we polymorph them into a weasel, and I will go off of that saying, well, listen, there's a couple spells that I could or couldn't be casting right now. I suppose are... who's this guy that we're talking to right now?
Masad.
Masad,
Mhm.
in your opinion, should we try to have some kind of distraction going on in the city when we try to get into the Pit of Vipers?
Would a distraction do more to distract them or put them on guard?
It depends. What you don't want is one of their anathemas to get a hold of you, or your distraction.
The anathemas?
Yep.
Well, excuse me, I have a odd question for you. If you were to take a rough guess, what in the jungle is most dangerous to them and or most likely to attack them? Any gorilla, really large,
I would
horrible
say
things that would take multiple people.
I would say if they pissed it off enough, a Hydra Naga.
What about a regular T-Rex?
Well, no, I have an idea. Zaitari, you are so good at magic. So good. Do you have any sort of magic that
Mhm.
could make a creature do whatever you want? Because-
I do not have Dominate Monster. That's a bit above my pay grade at the moment. We need at least 2 more levels for me to get that. I think. I think it's a 7th level spell. Let me just check, because right now I have access to Charm Monster.
Belair will interject. A Hydra Naga is a Naga with multiple heads.
Yes, we'd figured that out, darling.
I
Okay.
had guessed that from the horrifying name, yes.
Yes, Dominate Monster, that is a bit out of my range until I think we probably kill everything inside this yuan-ti city for me to get enough experience points to get to 8th level spells.
I'm sorry, what? Experience points?
Yes.
This isn't a
'cause-
game, darling.
Yes, because Zaitari's definitely said all of that.
Oh.
But I can do something where I can charm a monster, but unless it can understand me, I can't really do too much to try to convince it to
But
do what I want.
with tongues, they understand you, right?
Yes, but we're talking about something that needs to be smart enough to take complex directions.
The other way, Masad says that you could probably, I don't know, cause a distraction / get some help. So
Would it be a slave revolt?
that would take a while. Plus the slaves are kind of docile because one of the reasons that it's terrifying, other than becoming a slave for yuan-ti, the prospect in itself is horrifying. It's because in order to control their slaves, they drug their slaves with a white substance. Makes them more docile.
Oh, that's even better! Because you realize, guys, all we have to do is just make them not docile. We fuck up their drugs, and we just wait like 2 days.
Yes, because that won't kill them, maybe.
Well, no, we don't know. We just cure them. We just like undrug them. We just go like,
Yeah.
be free.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
because people...
That's how drug addiction works.
Exactly.
Like that, where they release the bunny. Here, bunny, be free, and the hawk just comes in and eats it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The other thing is, so the city is made up of multiple houses, kind of like nobility. That's how yuan-ti society works. This is the first time that all the houses have ever agreed on something because there's a resurrected god. So that in itself is horrifying because a united yuan-ti city is a force that anybody would not to reckon with. If you could get them to turn on one another, because they usually don't like each other, that's another thing. But then you'd have to wade into yuan-ti society, etc., etc., etc.
Yes, that seems like more of a a week of free time play than a day.
I think your original suggestion is probably best. If we could approach the cloister from the north, observe, find someone on their own, come up with a plot then to take them and question them. That's probably our best bet.
You probably also want to... So the abominations run the city. It's a caste system. So if an abomination went missing, then there'd probably be some talk. If a pureblood went missing, I don't think there would be too much concern. So the caste
Yes,
system...
I was just...
Yeah, the caste system goes abominations, half-bloods, purebloods. And then the
And
brood guards underneath.
They speak Abyssal, correct?
Most of them do.
All right. Good.
But most of them prefer to speak in their own tongue.
So, if we want to go under the radar here, we want to kidnap a pureblood rather than an abomination.
Probably. An abomination would probably ring some alarm bells.
again.
Sorry, the server's crapping out.
Ooh.
Hello?
Hey, can we hear each other now?
Hey.
It seems like it for now, but I'm still red.
I just
Oh, wait.
Yeah, I just switched
Yeah,
the
me
server
too.
to
Oh,
West.
there it is.
Well, there we go. That would be why.
It's
I'm sure.
gone
Well,
right up
what server were we on
degree.
before?
East.
Okay.
Yeah, there's
I
something
guess.
going
I guess
on.
it's peak
Figure.
time
Yep.
because it is the best coast. So.
I'm
Best
sorry.
Common, perhaps.
I'm sorry. Before we cut out. You were saying something, Tilda?
Which one are purebloods?
Purebloods are the one that look most human.
Okay.
The
What about
general-
a step above purebloods?
the half-bloods? So, the half-bloods look half snakish, half human. You know, like some have snake heads, some have snake appendages, but they still have some human aspects about themselves. Abominations are what they sound like.
Because if I
So-
remember correctly, the purebloods are very human looking. It's
Yes.
very hard to
Yes.
tell the difference.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So would a half-blood be safe then?
Depends on what position they would hold, I assume, says Masad. I'm not sure.
That's not helpful.
Though I would suppose the slaves are dressed in a very particular way, apart from regular society.
Yeah, all the slaves are, or the scaleless ones, they call us. They're dressed. It depends on who owns them. The ones that are dressed a little nicer usually belong to the abominations, the mage slayers, and the. One sec. This is not Naga's warrior caste, religious caste. It's the mage slayers and clerics mostly. They're usually not within the proper caste system, from what I've learned, said Masad.
Okay, so we should be able to tell a pureblood from a human just based off of probably their clothing, correct?
Yes, purebloods are usually, I believe, from what I've heard, purebloods are usually like when they try to be human, that's when they're sent off for missions for human infiltration.
But say I polymorphed a slave into a T-Rex.
Okay.
Would that be a significant distraction?
It would definitely cause a distraction. I would say. I mean, if you can
Or
get.
unless Shillin was willing to do it.
Shillin's like.
Are you willing,
No,
Shillin?
no, 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 no,
Shillin's
no,
like,
no,
I
no,
guided
no,
you. I'm guiding you to the city. I am not taking part of this.
Oh, you don't want to be a
Also-
T-Rex?
No. No.
Whoever throws the T-Rex is probably gonna die, guys. We can't kill Shillin. That's a dick move.
Yeah, that's true.
They're going
Okay.
to be a T-Rex.
Yeah, and they're gonna
want
get totally
to be a
murdered. We
T-Rex.
all know that.
So ranking my thought process, it was going to be Shillin be a T-Rex, slave be a T-Rex, but that slave's definitely going to die. Third, but that's moving it to the whatever. Anyways, the backup to that after I realized they would definitely die. If we could like capture a bird and release it and then I polymorph it into a T-Rex.
We could polymorph literally anything into a T-Rex. We could polymorph a bug into a T-Rex.
That's true,
Yes.
but wouldn't it be hilarious when the bird falls and turns into a T-Rex?
Well, only if it was so low that it didn't take a lot of damage. Otherwise, it'd just be a bird again.
I think you're underestimating the hardiness of a T-Rex.
You might be overestimating it, darling. It's not made of metal.
Well, no, but I don't think it's going to be falling that high. I wouldn't be able to target it with polymorph if it was that high.
But we want it to have all of its hit points so that it can just wail on everyone. Also, wait. Doesn't polymorph, don't they have to be of a level that... I mean, these level things...
That's right. Shit, that's right. That was why I was thinking Shillin.
Yeah. Not murdering our guide.
Oh,
What we
sure.
need
You're
is,
willing to make thousands of slaves go through terrible withdrawals and
Yes,
potentially
and
get
then-
murdered after a revolt, but
Yeah.
our guide is off limits.
They're already
Yes.
gonna die horribly. We'd be
You don't
saving
know
them.
that?
They're almost definitely gonna die horribly. They're slaves for yuan-ti!
Listen, the polymorph plan is now just completely out of the question. It's not going to work. But we do still have a deck of illusions, which we can play 52 card pickup with and just release the menagerie.
Maybe what we need is a team distract and a team kidnap.
I think we need just a team kidnap and then figure out the distraction. Because if this yuan-ti can get us into the pit of vipers, then, well, what's the point of trying to figure it out? We could just go in through some secret way that they know.
I'm just worried about distraction, also just causing things to be harder.
Oh no, I absolutely agree. I don't think we should do it unless we have to. If we can just get into the pit, that is the most ideal solution.
If we're lucky, we do it
went to
right.
the pit.
We might just be able to find a pureblood or a half-blood, interrogate it, find a way in, and I think that's what we should try for. If we have to distract, but
I agree. Something else we need to keep in mind, if we are going to do this snatch and grab and then getting into the pit without much, fanfare. I believe seeming only lasts for 8 hours. So we're probably going to have to split this into 2 days, potentially.
Honestly, that would probably be best for making sure that we're top notch for both times. Because what we should do is snatch somebody from one part of the town, preferably not the part that we'll be going into, and then go ahead and take them into the jungle, talk to them, interrogate them, whatever, and then go ahead and go into the pit. That way, we're in a completely. If they do have a heightened security, it'll be the other side of the city.
Well, the
have to
cloister
know
and
what
the
they're
pit
doing. Everything to be secure.
Yes.
Plus, we're not factoring in the fact that they have apparently risen a deity of some sort. Honestly, any sort of security they have is either going to be completely lax because they're relaxed about the fact that they've just brought someone back, a deity back, and they think she'll protect them, or it's going to be 1,000 times harder
Good point.
because they're protecting her. Or
Well, I
they
suppose.
whatever.
Where's this risen god supposedly at?
Well,
know?
Masad says, like I said, she's probably either at the Pit of Vipers or World Serpent's Call. Those are the...
Wait. When we were talking about the mummy thing, that's their god? Like, the god is
No,
the
no.
mummy?
Separate.
Different things.
They're just in the same place.
Correct.
Yep.
Cool. Yep.
So,
Possibly in the same place.
This is just rumors, says Masad. I can't confirm this. This is just what we've heard. And this has temporarily taken a consort,
Ugh.
which is Zenctistus.
Wait, is that the
Of
mummy?
course it is.
Yes, that is the.
How do
that
you
is
fuck a
the
mummy?
It's a mummy lich.
You bone him.
You
Oh.
you see Masad shrugs, like kind of like with the look of, how am I supposed to know how their anatomy works? I just know where to shoot them.
All right. Well, this is
And
all
how did
very.
you-
If we ever kill them while they were boning, maybe Raine could get the weirdest testicle for her collection.
It's already
Um,
preserved too.
Ew.
Something I do want to make sure to clarify. If we were to try to split this up over multiple days, do our questioning and then go back into the city, I'm going to assume that the individual that we take will not be important enough that it will set the city on high alert. Since we're taking a pure blood. But do they do patrols into the jungles around the city?
Yes, the Black Cloud Forest, which is the area that surrounds the city of Scales, that's where they often patrol.
As a thief, I can tell you that taking the least amount of time, unless you're taking an amount of time that is a factor of 10 larger than what it would take, faster the better. If we have to rest, we have to rest. But we should move as quickly as possible.
I do
Agreed.
agree, but I mean, the thought was there for splitting it up. As far as I just lost my train of thought.
Is there anywhere in the city that you would
Oh, I
say
remember.
would be likely for us to be able to interrogate a yuan-ti without being noticed? Like, is there some sort of just slums that no one would notice that we were just interrogating some rando?
He looks at his crudely drawn map. I mean,
Probably the jungles.
probably the jungles. There's not really. Monty's
No, that's fair.
Yeah, it's probably the jungles. He's like, I don't know. I've never been in the slums of the Scaled City.
I do apologize. I remember what I was going to say now. Now, I have a spell that I can cast that will let us find what we're looking for. We know it's in the Pit of Vipers, and it has a range of 1,000 feet. Keeping that in mind, if I use this spell to try to locate the object we're looking for, do you think we would need to interrogate somebody to find out the layout of the pit? I realize there's probably traps and those sorts of things, but if we were to be careful as we were traversing and looking for this object, do you think it's necessary?
He says, I honestly can't. I honestly don't know because, like, from what I've heard about the Pit of Vipers, it'd be better to get some information about it because, yes, their largest egg chamber is there. I've heard there's portals to multiple locations located in there. There could be, multiple dwellings of abominations.
The Pit of Vipers, out of curiosity, was it an older construct that the yuan-ti moved into, or did the yuan-ti, I mean, obviously the slaves, but did the yuan-ti have this built by the slaves?
From what other people in the area, like, sometimes we have, you get drunk around the campfire, and sometimes you discuss, like, philosophy and, like, history and shit like that.
Sure.
Of course.
Especially if, like, you're Asian born and you think about your lineage. From what we've discussed and what we know about the building, it's definitely older. From what we hear, like, than yuan-ti. Like, it sounds like they moved into it.
So the layout is possibly not too crazy, since they did not design it themselves to be what if it is.
I mean, they
but
could have
that's
renovated, for all I know.
yeah, that's a good point. Ugh. Stupid snake people.
Sneeple.
Tilda, Ronnie,
Mhm.
what about casting Legend Lore? Don't we have enough materials
Yes.
for that?
Yes, we do.
Then I think we should probably. Ronnie says, "I don't have that prepared today, but I can tomorrow."
No worries, darling. I can do it. Or maybe I can't. I could have sworn it was
Apparently
ritual.
It is not a ritual.
I really thought it was. Give me a second.
No, I think the highest level ritual is contact other plane. You think it would be?
Yeah, 6th level. It's the highest.
Damn it. Well, fuck. I don't have it prepared either, because I thought it was a ritual.
Well, we can always just take an extra day.
Yeah, honestly, if we're gonna take a day, it's better to take it here, in some sort of area, even if we don't stay with the Jinborn, just somewhere that's not, the middle of the jungle would be kind of nice for
Yes. Shillin.
safety.
Yes?
Let me leave here and start heading to the yuan-ti city that I can't remember the name of right now because Valerie just can't remember it for some reason.
Scales.
City of Scales. There we go. Thank you.
Yes.
How long would it be before we hit patrolled territory?
From here?
Yes.
Probably 4 hours.
Mm,
If I take you to the most direct path.
okay. All right. So then we'll want to do that. Because I was thinking if it was going to take us a day before we hit, the bad place, we'll just break early and then cast our spell and then wake up, keep traveling.
I can get you there real, to the Black Cloud Forest. I can get you there real fast,
Okay.
relatively speaking.
Well, then we'll spend a day here preparing and then head out.
All right.
We might want to ask to do that.
Can we spend a day here planning?
Masad says it's fine. I mean, we're, like I said, like Dave probably mentioned, we're in the middle of packing up. So, as long as you guys stay out of the way, you guys are more than welcome to hang around.
It'll be like we're not even here.
All right. Yeah, we're fine with that. Any enemy of the yuan-ti is a mutual friend.
I don't suppose you have any really elderly, sickly people that feel like going on a death mission and becoming a T-Rex in the last days, right?
He just
I
kind
didn't
of
ask
deadpans.
My last wish was to be a T-Rex. Now I get to fulfill it. Going out in a blaze of glory. Yeah.
Murder grandmother!
They just need to be at least 8th level. Or they're going to turn into a bird.
It's a weird choice, bird or T-Rex.
They just need to go
See,
find...
when you casted it, the re-evolves into...
Hmm. Sorry.
Catch up, why?
So are we just spending the night?
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
want to cast it?
So what are we
Tilda?
preparing?
Well, here's what I'm thinking. Ronnie's not here.
Yeah.
Kay's not here. Arguably, we both have important spells. His
Oh,
spells
yeah,
are
but I
more
mean,
important
like,
than mine, usually. But
if
well,
we're
because
spending,
I'll have to unprepare one spell in order to get this.
yeah, well, the idea is that we're staying in the city for a day so that we can just, have it prepared for that day and then switch it out because then we don't need it anymore.
I can't do that. If I prepare my spells at the beginning of the day,
Yeah, that's what I mean.
that's it.
Yeah, we spend the day, and then we leave the day after.
What?
I really don't understand what.
How long are we staying in the village, according to your plan, Mallory?
Tonight, the next night, and then we leave the next morning?
Oh, okay. You're suggesting 2 sleepovers.
Yeah.
I did not realize you were
Yeah, 'cause we
suggesting
can't-
2 sleepovers and not 1.
Yes, because then we would have to have Legend Lore on the spell list, and people might not want that.
Yeah. Yep. Two
Especially for
sleepovers.
traveling into...
That's
Honestly-
a lot of days to have a goddess.
What time of day is it?
I
It's
agree.
possibly fuck-
You guys arrived here around probably like 2 or 3 o'clock.
Yeah, I agree. I think only one sleepover is the longest amount of time I'm willing to let a goddess who is supposed to be long dead or whatever and a mummy lich bone. So
Okay. Well, I thought... Well, the impression that I got
Here's
was
the thing,
that
Legend
we
Lore.
had to fight
Is it gonna help us that much, really? The spell brings to your mind a brief summary of the significant lore about the thing you named. The lore might consist of current tales, forgotten stories, or even secret lore that have never been widely known.
I guess
If it's
then...
not a brief part, you gain no information.
Then
It's
fuck it,
probably
I guess.
legendary.
It doesn't matter, so just won't cast it then.
honestly, I'd rather get this done as soon as possible.
I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with like letting Raine scout the city out or something. I'll even lend her my broom. But I want to get this done as soon as possible. But Tilda and Ro want to get this done as soon as possible.
Do we
I
want to
mean-
have Ronny cast Hero's Feast before we go to bed?
Are we going to bed, or it's like 2 in the afternoon?
We're not doing
I
anything
asked
else
Mas-
today.
I asked Masad, the getting to the northish of the cloister,
Mm-hmm.
so we can watch and how long would that take us to get there?
If you're going through the Black Cloud Forest,
Assume that's our only option, so yes.
yeah. It'll probably take you to get to Black Cloud Forest about 4 hours proper. So another 3 hours till you hit the edge of the city. So 9.
So we get
until-
there at 9?
Yeah,
ish?
9 hours. Yeah.
And what time is it
Oh,
now?
wait a second.
2 o'clock.
Yep.
You said it was 4 hours to get to the forest, and then
Yep.
3 hours to get to the
City.
city. That's 7 hours.
Yep.
So we would get there around 9.
Yes.
Okay. Not we would get there around 9 hours later, which is kind of what you said. But anyway,
Well, they're probably about 9 hours by sneaking, avoiding, bullshit.
maybe.
I mean, Shillin seems to know what she's doing, so I assume we're going to show up then. But, I mean, if
So-
we're going to take a long rest, we should not do it in the forest.
Why not? We can, if we're hidden well enough, we can observe the city.
I would say get there, eat. If we think we have a good enough place to hide, rest. If not,
Maybe backtrack a little.
someone tonight.
Yeah. I'd rather get
are-
there.
Are yuan-ti more active in the day or the night? Do we know that?
Masad would say they are pretty much active at all hours. So they take shifts, but
It's the city that never sleeps.
pretty much. It's like
Although you
Vegas.
yuan-ti
Like,
immune to poison.
Let me see. He's had a few bouts with them, so he would definitely know this.
While you're looking that up, Belair, now, if you wouldn't mind, could you tell me a story all about how your life got flipped, turned upside down? I will take a minute, just sit right here. I would love to hear a story about how you became the prince of a town called Belair.
The Anith on the horizon.
Just got a lot
they
stronger.
Are, many poisons do not work against yuan-ti, Masad will say.
Womp womp.
Is this the same day that we fought the skull tree?
No, you guys rested. Remember? You saw a white fox and all that good stuff.
Yeah, we rested.
Yeah.
Okay. I just never hit the button, so I didn't know.
You can hit the button.
You're still level 14, right?
Yes.
Damn.
I mean, if we want to leave, that's fine. But Hero's Feast takes an hour. And it's going to use up a 6th level spell slot.
Right.
And if we want to
can-
leave, we're not going to be able to with Word of Recall.
Okay, that's
Ooh.
Well, hang on.
Doesn't he also
Why
have that
not?
thing?
If we rest outside the
Oh, yeah.
City of Scales, if we eat the Hero's Feast before we rest, then we rest, and then it's the next day, and we go in, would Ronny not have Word of Recall?
No, he'd have a 6th level spell slot.
See? There you go.
Well, we were just talking about doing it today. Like, doing the whole thing today. We would
No,
not have Word of
no,
Recall.
we weren't. That's not what...
I think we're traveling today, resting, and then
Yes.
going in with a long rest under our belts.
I heard somebody say
That's
potentially
the
just doing
ideal.
it tonight.
But we could also do it tonight. Or we could do the kidnapping interrogation tonight.
That
Think
seems
it was
risky.
done well. Let's get out.
Yeah, I'd rather not... like, look, I want to get this done as soon as possible, but not... I recognize that tonight would not be a good time for that in terms of, like, spell conservation and things like that.
Yeah.
If
We could certainly
If-
kidnap somebody tonight.
that feels really risky.
I love
Um,
that sentence. We could kidnap somebody tonight. That's
If we're gonna sleep in this forest, then we need to find somewhere really safe,
Mm-hmm.
like really hidden.
Mm-hmm. I am willing to...
our guide, do you have any really safe spots in the city?
Right outside the city.
Right outside
Honestly,
the
that's the
city.
fact- What's the closest spot you would feel comfortable sheltering in overnight that you've used? Certainly, you've had injured people you've had to let rest, scouting and whatnot.
Oh, also, if you want me to have locate object, then we need to sleep.
Yeah.
So
Again, we will sleep. Darren?
Yep, I'm looking.
Okay. Wasn't sure if we'd lost you or something.
Nope. She would say.
It's not helpful, darling. Use words.
Hold on. Scrolling. Scrolling.
Scrolling.
I would say, like, the closest place we could probably rest near the city would probably be near, and you're not gonna like this, would probably be
Underneath the waterfall. Yes.
Nagara. It's it's a site, and you see Masad be like, "Are you?" Yeah, and then he's like, "Oh, that's probably a good idea. Not the best idea, but a good idea." Nagara is a small area far enough away from the city that the yuan-ti wouldn't patrol regularly. But the reason they wouldn't patrol regularly is that there are a group of divine Naga that rule that area.
Well, they don't have dispel magic. Have dispel magic.
I always have to spell magic.
As long as they don't have dispel magic, we can just hide in our
We'll hide in what?
Nagara.
the hut.
Oh, the hut.
The hut. Yeah, the hut is immune to dispel magic. It's disintegration that you have to worry about.
Isn't that wall of force?
I think that's
Wait,
wall of force.
It's been dispelled before.
Yeah, I dispelled a hut. They were like, yeah, they were torturing Thanik inside the hut.
Yeah, and we were in it one time and it got dispelled.
Right.
That's wall of force, yeah.
So yeah.
Why don't I remember any of my spells?
There's 50 million of them.
Yeah, it's probably that.
But
I mean, I remember. What?
But Nagara is probably our best bet. The Guardian Naga won't harm us if we don't harm them or their servants.
Are they evil or okay or?
They're usually historians. They gather lore and lost bits of legends in ruins. They're usually...
If we do not harm them, will they leave us alone?
Yeah, and Masad says, the Guardian Naga have never given us any trouble.
Would they be willing to provide a distraction?
I mean,
Probably not, but
if you want to talk to them, you'd probably have to communicate through them via their servants, which are around Nagara a lot. If you wanted to get an audience with one of them, I've never spoken to them personally.
what sort of servants do they keep?
Usually they will keep kobold. I've seen kobolds and lizard folk. Usually they have them do errands.
It's worth a shot. Since we're going to be spending a night there, we might as well try to convince them maybe to do something for us.
If anything,
Considering that they have a,
if anything,
demigod raised inside the City of Scales that needs to be dealt with.
if anything, they are a fountain of knowledge. Like, they are historians and guardians, obviously, of ruins. So you could at
They
least
might know
find
something
something. They
about
might
the
know stuff. Yeah.
Go check out the library.
But yeah, decide
Alright,
what you
well-
guys want to do, and I'll take you where you need to go.
That sounds like it might be our best shot.
I guess let's get going.
All right. So Nagara.
Nagara.
All right. Oh boy. All right. Follow me. Well, are we? You guys? Do you guys want to take a nap first, or?
Nope.
We
Okay.
haven't done anything today, so it's not necessary.
Okay, to Nagar. Oh boy, never done this before.
Through the forest.
Through the forest, to the trees, to where we need to go. All right. All right. All right. So she leads you down the mountain. Masad and Belair wave. Good luck.
We thank them, by the way.
Yeah,
before we leave.
they were happy to help anybody who's an enemy of the yuan-ti. And you see them go back into the tribe to continue their preparations to move. Because things aren't looking so good. So Shillin, leave me alone, malware bites. So Shillin leads you down the rocky path down from Mount Urgoth back into the jungle.
They're like, well, fine, get malware. See if we care.
And takes you into the Black Cloud Forest, which doesn't really look like a black cloud, but it's called a cloud forest because a lot of the jungle actually is covered with this fog that looks like smoke. It is east of the jungle where you guys had first traversed this dark forest. Shillin tells you contains, as you guys are walking along, all manners of plant life and animal life that you probably won't even find like up north. There are large numbers of carnivorous plants, such as duskwoods and shadow tops, that grow in the jungle. And this was, there are ruins that you'll spot throughout your journey here, she says. The forest also contains dire tigers, nomadic tribes of wild dwarves, and and every once in a while you will come across, if you're not that careful, the solitary sword spiders or naga hydras that Masad had mentioned. As you guys are wandering the Black Cloud Forest, can I get perception checks from everybody, please?
I also cast dark vision on myself.
Oh,
Yep.
I shouldn't have had advantage. I don't know why that was still there.
All right. So that was 14 for you? No, 12?
It was really low.
Looked like a 12.
5 plus 5. 12, yes.
And then Ronny,
Ronnie's a 20.
Yeah, 20? Okay, cool. You guys are traversing the forest, and every once in a while your eyes, Melanie doesn't see this, but your eyes, wander up to the canopy, and you see these large pitcher-like plants, and these other plants that look like as if they're spiky, but at the end of them there's like a little bulbous dewdrop, and it looks like a kind of like what the COVID virus looks like. You have that ball with the little spikes and the
Great.
ball. Yeah. Except it's each plant head is about the size of a fist. Shillin will point out that those pitcher plants are called giant pitcher plants, and what they're designed to do is that they
Pitch.
Well, in a way. So they're open, but at the bottom of it there is a sweet, sticky substance collected at the bottom of the pitcher, and usually giant like dire mosquitoes and other giant insects will fall into them, being attracted by the sweet nectar, and the pitcher plant will close onto them. As for the giant dew heads, she points out, the large insects or small mammals or birds will be attracted to the dew at the end of the plant, and then the plant will instinctively curl up and trap the insect or animal feeding on them. So she points that out. Everybody that had Raine, as she's explaining what all these plants do, you catch out of the corner of your eye this this large bear that's probably at the bottom of what would be considered the canopy. Except this bear, it looks like, at first glance, you think, oh, it looks like a regular black bear, about similar size. But when you see it, like, look in your direction and then leave your current direction, it looks like that this bear has multiple iridescent scales on its hind front quarters, so like around like the shoulder area of where a bear would consider having shoulders, near the top of the head. Yeah, it's yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is the Black Cloud Forest. It's
This
and
whole jungle is a nightmare place.
yeah, pretty much.
I get Melanie's attention and point her towards it.
Yep.
Would that make up for a polar bear? That'd be better than the polar bear. Should we stop and get it?
Nope.
No.
Yes, I thought we were trying to be fast.
Just a thought.
Okay.
I didn't know you were here, Zaitari.
Well, we are all traveling together, so.
But yeah, you guys travel for a couple of hours until you guys hit your first set of ruins. It looks like this decrepit, tall stone structure that just peeks out of the canopy. Well, the top of it just crests over the canopy. It looks like it looks kind of like if you stacked upon each other a number of stone bells. It's very phallic, actually. Now that I'm describing it, it's partially crumbling on one side. You see that the nests of many birds have taken residence in this tall stone structure. Peeking into the darkness of some of the little alcoves that line the bottom, you see, many types of long, fuzzy moss, gray, lichen-like substances, and every once in a while there are a few birds that swoop out from the alcoves and swoop back in. That's what I say when people do research on fruit flies, actually, at my lab. Like, a lot, like, their mushroom head, like, brain, it looks like a penis. And everybody always outlines it for some reason. But yeah, scientists and their penis jokes. So she leaves you, and then you start seeing, like, tall ruins just like the ones I described. You see more ruins that have crumbled over the passage of time. Jagged pieces of stone laying on the ground. In some places that only signify there was once a a tower or a set of buildings here. Can I get one more set of perception checks from everybody, please?
Zaitari will be first, and then Ronny will be second.
All right, awesome. All right.
30.
Nice. Ronny, Tilda, Melanie, Raine,
Not Zaitari.
not
basically.
Zaitari.
As
Even
per usual.
yeah. Immediately hear some chittering coming about maybe 60 feet in front of you guys. It is a very thick jungle, so the visibility isn't great. Does anybody here speak Draconic that can hear this?
Yep.
Okay. Raine, in your expert opinion, this sounds like kobolds. They sound
Oh
very
my god, it's Deacon. No.
they sound very similar to the kobolds you have encountered in the past. The rapid
Such as Deacon.
such as Deacon, rapid fire language. Unlike all kobolds are Deacon. You wish. You wish there was like a horde of deacons in front of you going to help you. So, yeah, they're talking about they sound like they're talking about an excavation they're currently working on. And when would be appropriate time to break for supper.
About would I have a guess on how many there are?
Judging from actually make an insight check. Just kind of getting the tone. You think there are about maybe 4 or 5 of them.
I'll whisper that to our gym guide.
Okay.
Who seem to have the most familiarity with these.
Okay.
So should we just greet them? They sound like they're probably the helpers. These might be the people I want to talk to.
Sounds like if they're talking about an excavation site, Shillin says. As long, I think, as we don't present ourselves as a threat, I think they should be okay. Anybody gifted with a silver tongue that speaks Draconic here?
I do not speak Draconic.
I'll give it a try.
Oh, that?
Since I speak in little waste in the resources, I can speak it naturally, and
do you want me to give you enhance ability?
Nah, I'm okay.
Okay.
Do you want to use one of my divination rolls?
I feel this is a pretty reliable instance.
Okay.
Alright, so are you going up by yourself? Are you taking somebody with you?
Just stay back for the moment. Don't be too quiet. I'm gonna walk out, visible. Hands just to my sides, but kind of palms facing out, like not, obviously kind of like just open gestured. And I'm going to say, "Hail, friends. If we could talk, may I approach?"
Okay. So this is the scene.
In Draconic.
Okay, so this is the scene you see in front of you. All right, so like it's kind of like a mini archaeological dig. You see that some of the trees have been felled to make these stakes in the ground. There looks like to be a very simple pulley system one that would involve tying a bucket to a series of ropes and putting dirt in said bucket and bringing it out. So you see these little heaps of dirt everywhere. In front of you, there are about 4 kobolds. 2 of them look like they are currently we're in the middle of using like a burlap tarp to cover their current excavations, just in case, the climate started to turn nasty and wash away all their progress. There is another pair that looks like they're currently gathering up tools. They also are armed. They're armed with spears. One of them currently has a spear in hand. Like as you start saying this, they're like, "Oh shit!" But they are all of the green variety of kobold, by the way. 3 of them look like normal kobolds. One of them has a pair of wings. And the one that has the pair of wings immediately like turns to you. The others kind of like try to make themselves as small as possible and like hide behind like piles of dirt and small shrubbery. The one that is the winged one looks at you warily and says, what do you want? And you speak, he, from the tone of voice, says that.
In Draconic.
In Draconic.
Someone's getting into that package.
I know. I was about to say, who's got some like?
There's a kobold that is
Ritz
currently like
crackers.
stress eating.
There's a kobold who's like trying to open a piece of hard candy, and then he
Yeah,
notices
exactly.
everyone knows. He's like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry," and then he keeps unwrapping it. It's actually Ritz crackers, though, guys. I'm sorry.
It's
Yes. What do I want?
Yeah.
I
What
say
do you want?
back in Draconic. Mostly to talk. We would like to pass safely, and perhaps get your assistance in those of who we believe to be your masters. We may be able to provide assistance. Perhaps they would just not care to deal with us at all, but we just want things to pass through peacefully, and perhaps we can mutually help one another. I have several other people with me. With your permission, I would like to bring them forward.
He's like, okay, but I would like to also bring our dig leader to meet with you then, if this is to be a more extensive conversation.
Of course.
All right. You see the winged kobold nudge the one that was eating a very loud stress-eating package ration. Say, one sec.
That's Fritz.
Go get Beishra, and the kobold will nod and darts into the jungle. And the winged kobold currently still has eyes on you, gestures you to, well, bring your compatriots. Get comfortable, and the other 2 kobolds nervously move away from their dirt mounds and like just look at you.
I'm gonna slowly come up if Raine waves us forward.
exactly. That was if Raine signals for us to come forward.
Yeah, I'll signal for them to come forward. I'll say, I have to talk to them. Not in Draconic. None of them speak it. And then
Okay.
I'll tell the party that they can come forward.
All right.
And we do.
Okay. You see 3 green
They're so
kobolds with the archaeological police system and the winged one that is still eyeing you all pretty warily. A few minutes later, you guys hear some rustling, and behind the small pack of kobolds, there is a large considering her race, but a large female lizard folk. She has these light blue but green with green molted scales. She has what probably used to be this brilliant yellowish head crest that has dulled with age. When she approaches, her mouth is slightly ajar, and you see these rows of pointed teeth, but many of the teeth look like they have been broken in battle or in accidents, whatever instances that have given her this broken teeth.
She chews so much ice.
Yes, she chews so much ice.
She's even chewing some ice right now.
And she has on her. It's not. She's not unarmed. She is actually carrying her weapons on her, but not in a threatening manner. A shield made out of a giant, what looks like sea turtle shell, and a very large, long sword that doesn't look like your typical normal longsword. It looks like one side looks serrated, kind of like as if she's holding a giant serrated steak knife. And she
Maybe we should hide Ronny. No.
She comes forward and she says, I am Beishra. She's speaking in common. You ask to speak with me? And you see the kobold that had been sent to go get her looks very, very nervous. Like, he is just like, please don't eat me. Please don't kill me. But don't eat me either.
Zaitari, are you gonna... do you want us to...
Yes, we chose to. We were wondering if we could, perhaps speak with the Nagas of this place.
And what...
If not, we would just like to make camp here.
If you...
And we promise not to disturb your work, or not to intentionally disturb your work, at the very least.
If you were granted an audience, she says, what would you like to speak to them about?
We seek an artifact within a city nearby here, the city of Scales.
What's your passive insight?
Yikes.
Mine is 18.
I believe mine is
Passive
23.
Insight is 23.
All right. You visibly see Beishra's eye twitch as soon as you mention the city of Scales. Anybody above a 15 passive insight can see this easily. Like, her eye twitches the moment you say city of Scales, but ceases after you say that phrase.
We were hoping your masters might help us, might give us information that would be helpful to us.
I cannot guarantee an audience, but I can deliver one of these individuals, and you see the individuals are like, "Yep, yep, we can help. Yep, yep, join us." Um, one of these individuals can be sent back. Well, two of them, I should say, should be sent back to relay that, and if they wish to speak with you, if that piques their interest, then you probably will be able to see them. But as far as just resting in in their territory, as long as you don't bother their work or any of the denizens, that should be fine.
We do not seek to do any harm here within the Naga's territory
Okay.
to its residents or its land.
You see, Beshra say, Depi, Tegs, go, and two of the wingless kobolds start darting off into the jungle like their tails are on fire. Okay.
I think there's an awkward silence, and then Tilda, if you don't mind my asking, what are you doing here? I mean, this structure, this erection, if you will.
This is a ruin. The Beshra says this is merely a ruin of a long extinct lizard type folk. Our masters just wish to study its carvings on the walls, and we found some pots that indicated that there may be more if there's an excavation, which and she looks at the hole and she sighs. That could have gone into the museum. Clumsy kobolds, she murmurs.
I happen to be a practiced purveyor of arcane arts. I know how to mend things. I could possibly help.
She throw a persuasion check.
What do you guys think? Should I use a divination roll or save it for the Nagas?
I'd save it.
For
Yeah.
most of your spells, oh yeah, save it for the Nagas.
Okay. I mean, I feel like we're not. But I will.
Okay.
Wow, that's terrible.
Bashra says, Snoss, go get it. And the wing kobold is like, okay. Gets a tablet that looks like, so this is what the tablet looks like. It's about the size of a notebook, or it was the size of a notebook. It's just been broken up into 6 pieces. There are a number of runes etched into it. It looks like what had happened is maybe some careless digging. There's an instinctive giant pick mark that probably in the center of the tablet that probably went through it, and then it shattered said tablet. And
Okay.
yeah, Snoss just and you see his hands are kind of trembling a little bit as he hands the pieces off to you, and is not making any eye contact with you or Bashra.
I will thank
Please,
Snoss.
yeah, in broken common he says, "Please take, please take, please take, please."
Oh, I do.
Okay.
You know, I've just kind of
Yeah, you just like immediately as soon as you have the tablet securely in hand, he will pull his arms away.
So I'm gonna set them out on the ground very quickly and try to like do the puzzle, basically, try to match them up
Yeah, it's not too difficult.
as best I can. And basically I feel like what I have here is the Rosetta Stone. So is that accurate?
I mean,
Is it potentially accurate?
it looks like it was a fairly lengthy text.
Okay.
Whether it's like a Rosetta Stone type of deal, you're not sure.
Yeah, so I don't know if you want me to roll anything to make sure I've got it, or if it's easy enough to figure out, like, hey, this big jagged section probably goes in this giant V section.
Yeah, it's only 6 pieces, so you could probably figure it out pretty easily. But
Okay.
do roll an Arcana check if you want to take a glimpse of what is actually on it while you're mending it together. I mean, it's still pretty good for a 1.
I was about to say,
That's why I was laughing, because it's a 1 and it's also an 18.
are we playing, natural ones are automatic failures, or...
I don't think we ever have for skill checks.
We never have for skill checks.
Yay!
Okay.
Or saving throws, for that matter.
Alright, so this tablet, hold on. I want to make sure I got the spelling of the people correct. Just 1 second.
Sure.
Scroll. Oh my god. There we go. So it speaks of a people, called the Sharuks. That's their name. And it briefly categorizes different... It looks like different types of lizard folk. The lizard folk are listed on there, but also listed on there are... There we go. Also listed on there. Here we go.
Quickly, before you go any further,
Yep.
is this in, hang on, any of the languages that I speak? Common, Elvish, Celestial, Abyssal, Sylvan, or Halfling?
It's an abyssal.
Okay, interesting.
Alright. It tells of these people, the Sharuks, and it mentions several types of lizard folk. First of all, it mentions the lizard folk. So it mentions the lizard folk. It mentions another type called the Asabi. It mentions the Nagas, the yuan-ti, the Terra folk, and...
Did they terraform?
The troglodytes.
Jesus.
I am...
Long pause.
I can't spell troglodyte. Troglodyte, whatever. And so it mentions lizard folk, the Asabi, the Nagas, the yuan-ti, the Terra folk, and the troglodytes, and Shrine.
Oh, are the Terra folk like pterodactyl people?
I don't know. Why not you roll a Arcana check to see if you've ever heard of them?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, you're asking.
I mean, you're not sure? I mean, if you're taking it out on paper, yeah? I mean, that... Or maybe they terraform stuff? Who knows? Tilda, are you trying to figure out about the Terrafolk in general, or all of the list of these lizard people?
I'll take the whole list,
All right.
Alex, for 200.
So you know about the lizard folk, the Naga, the yuan-ti, the troglodytes. Tren, you've heard of the term, though you've probably never like actually seen one in person. A tren is pretty much what a beefed up troglodyte is. Is if you took the beefiest of troglodytes and you mated them together and you made a very beefy troglodyte, but the intelligence is lacking. That's what a tren is. As for the asabi, the asabi are very similar to the lizard folk themselves, but they seem like they are older in literature, in history. They're very similar to the lizard folk, though. They're probably a little taller. Their heads are a little more like domed shape. Think of it if you had an upright. I think the best way to think of it is an upright iguana.
Okay.
Yeah, a biped iguana is probably the best description I can think of for an
That's
asabi.
certainly an image.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also, Tren being, their brains are less than troglodytes, that's really saying something.
It very much is.
The Terrafolk are what you think, what it sounds like. If Lynn was actually Melanie, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they're pterodactyl folk. The problem with Terrafolk is what you've heard of is they're very primitive people. They don't even have a proper society. Their society is pretty much fight among themselves and kind of work together, but then eat the other person once the job is done, or just fly away as soon as possible if you're the smaller prey.
Okay.
So
Makes
yes.
sense.
Yep.
I mean, I feel like this sounds like a fine existence.
And they can fly. But other than that, there's not much written about the Terrafolk because they're very, very simple people. Simple and savage. But it sounds like the Saruks from this tablet predates all of them.
Like it was like the beginning of the lizard folk.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Like they're a common ancestor or something?
No. From what it says, these are, so as you're reading it, because you got a 35,
Mm-hmm.
it sounds like the Saruks didn't, they're not an ancestor. It looks like the Saruks made them,
Oh.
taking the best aspects of themselves and experimenting.
Huh. Is this like... Does it use mythological language? How... for us, for like IRL, the Bible says, God then took a rib from the side of Adam and created Eve, that kind of thing.
No, it sounds like a page out of a lab notebook.
Ooh, that's even creepier.
That's worse. Yes, that's much worse. Huh.
But Beishra will say, "Thank you very much."
Of course, darling. Happy to help.
She will put down her, she will sheathe in this big ass sheath, this, her crazy serrated sword, and, with her right hand, hold out her massive hand for the tablet.
I hand it over.
All right. She'll put it she'll wrap it very carefully in burlap, kind of giving a stink eye to the remaining kobolds who are like, don't eat us. Like, Raine, you hear that. Like, you hear them like, in draconic murmur, please don't eat us. And, she carefully wraps it in burlap and puts it into a sack.
To their credit, they broke it well enough that it didn't crumble and was only in 6 rather easy to put back together pieces.
Yes, and for that, their lashings are reduced to 10 instead of 20. And they're just like... While this exchange is going on,
I try to shoot the kobolds like a sympathetic look, but...
What are the rest of you doing while Tilda is repairing this tablet?
I am trying to look non-threatening.
Yeah, we're not really doing anything.
Okay.
Shifting around uncomfortably.
Ronny's probably eyeing the turtle shell at this point. It is massive. But about 15 minutes later, after this awkward exchange, 2 of the kobolds come back. And Beishara, leans down and they whisper in her ear. And then she nods. And she looks up at all of you and she says, my masters are interested in what you have to say. If it is okay with you, I and these little ones would like to lead you to an audience with one of them.
Can I do an insight check to make sure that she's on the up and up?
Yeah, of course.
Insight.
You get the feeling that she's being truthful.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, of course.
All right.
But we will follow your lead.
Okay. Please, this way, please. And she begins to trudge through carefully around the excavation site and then through the jungle. Shillin is okay. And you guys start following?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I'm still keeping an eye to make sure like nothing crazy is going on, but I'm not doing it like surreptitiously. I'm just kind of like being aware.
Okay.
Not like darting eyes around like who's coming at me.
All right. So you guys, Bashara weaves you through the ruins. Being very, very, actually very careful of, stepping on anything that could be of value or anything that could require further excavation. She leads you further and through the jungle into what looks like the heart of, well, not the heart of the ruins themselves, but like near the center of the ruins. There is a large crumbling wall that is literally only being held up by these very thick vines. They look like as if they look very similar to like if a mangrove tree is sitting on the edge of the on the wall and its roots are keeping it together. Actually, if anybody's interested in looking at the wall a little more closely, could I get a nature check from somebody?
I'm good.
Looking at that wall real careful like.
It's a wall, and there are roots on it.
Oh, okay.
Zaitari and Raine, you guys know enough that the way that this tree is holding the wall is not natural.
Okay.
It looks like the tree roots have been either forcefully woven into place in the wall.
Hmm.
Sure. Sure. Great.
I was trying to say lover, but love works.
Because I was like, I mean, with the whole 2 nature check. It hold wall like love.
It hold wall like love. So romantic.
Why speak many word when few do trick?
You do trick, yeah.
Okay. The lizard folk woman leads you to a very similar structure as the phallic bell tower that you guys saw earlier, except this one looks a little more intact. There is almost no vegetation clinging onto this ruin. As far as it's very well kept, the alcoves that you saw the birds darting in and out of with the first ruin actually hold statues in each of them. Statues that look very, like Buddha in a lotus, cross-legged lotus position.
Mhm.
Except some of the statues, like near the ground floor, actually, when you get a closer look, instead of skin, the body of the statue looks like scales were carved onto them. The Bashra leads you into the center of the tower, and inside there is this beautiful faded mosaic pattern on the floor that looks like a large serpent. The tail starts in the center and just coils around and around until like the head is coils out towards what looks like a high-seated stone throne with these lovely spikes that curve every which way. Bashara says, please wait here as things fall behind me.
The ruin's closing in on us, guys. Oh
You guys got here around 4 hours to the far, so 6 o'clock. So the sun is starting to dip down. But in this temple, it looks like it is flooded with natural light. Even though the canopy is covering what most of the ruin should be in.
Do we see like a system of mirrors or something?
Roll a perception check.
Fucking mirror puzzles. Fuck the shit, I'm out.
Maybe.
Puzzle on Uncharted 2.
You don't see any mirrors as far as you can tell.
Ignore the second one. I didn't get rolled.
It's unnatural light, so to speak.
It seems that way. Could be a magical thing, could be maybe even more well-hidden mirrors that you're not aware of. Melanie. Bashara
Mirrors
has
make light shine pretty.
but Bashara, steps, out from the mosaic pattern, and you guys, it's pretty audible. You hear the sound of scale on stone.
Mhm.
Just like it sounds like sandpaper rubbing on stone. As
For
you're
half a second, Tilda has a flashback to when that bone naga dropped down into the sewer. And then, like, okay, no, we're fine. We're fine.
let me get a picture of said naga.
As long as it doesn't have multiple heads.
It does not have multiple heads. I guarantee you that it does not have multiple heads.
Then I think we're okay.
Coming up from behind the tall stone throne is a you see the snake body first. It is a bright green, almost that like of a tree viper, and it is enormous. It starts to you see the body coil its way around the throne, and coming up from behind the throne, you see the head of a person. Um, so let me. Well, it could be a person for all intents and purposes. I just need to get a. That's a pretty accurate picture. Pictures of nagas. Why won't you open where I want you to? Alright. Save image. Save. There we go. Alright. Come on, Row 20, you can do it. Alright, there we
We
go.
believe in you.
So,
Oh.
it's the head of a woman on this pretty much what looks like that body.
Okay.
Yep. And she just kind of lowers her head down from the back of the throne, near where a person's head would be if they were sitting on the throne itself. And she says, I am Amba. I am one of the several masters of Nagara. You said you wanted to speak with me. Yep, that's exactly how it's spelled.
Okay. Well, I beg your pardon.
Mm,
I curtsy
okay.
first. Yeah, like after I say well and I beg your pardon. Forgive me, I have forgotten my manners. And even though I'm not wearing a dress, I do curtsy.
Okay.
So it comes with adventuring life, I think, forgetting manners. We are a group of adventurers seeking out a specific artifact in the City of Scales.
Mm.
And we were hoping you might be able to give us some idea of what goes on within the city. And this is Ro completely forgetting what we're here to ask her for. What are we here to ask her for?
We were gonna try to talk her into helping us, but that was not clear as to how. So
Okay. We were wondering if there was any information you could bestow upon us that might help us in infiltrating and retreating from the City of Scales with our chosen prey, as it were.
She looks thoughtful. And then her body starts to move again against a stone.
Mm-hmm.
Her head comes towards you guys.
why?
Just kind of like her upper snake body strength, allows her to like have her head level with your guys, like coming out from the throne.
Ro is physically repelled and repulsed.
Okay.
But Tilda keeps it locked.
Okay.
She is full on noble,
Her eyes dart to each one of you. Interesting.
This whole fucking jungle adventure has been
Very
the worst
interesting
for me.
Raine, you are now eye level with a guardian naga. All of you are. If you could tell if she had a hand, she'd be stroking her chin right now.
It's just the end of her tail just comes up and
So you wish to infiltrate the City of Scales, cause a little chaos in getting this artifact of yours. Interesting.
Potentially.
Well, I do not like the yuan-ti.
Does anybody?
The new deity might.
I've heard of her.
Told they
Jinborn.
stay away from you. But if they're causing trouble, we might be able to cause them some trouble for you. And ourselves mutually.
The Jinborn mentioned that the city has raised a Nith.
Yes, I know of her. She who was once part of the world's serpent. They all were. All of these serpent gods were once one. And then they broke apart. She was one of them. I remember. Well, you're going to have a very difficult task ahead of you, since you may or may not know that she has taken on the consort, being that of the leader of the city.
Yes, the mummy lich.
No, I don't like him either. None of us do. He forgets where he comes from, now that he's this glorious undead. And you see her roll her eyes as she says that.
Where does he come from?
Yes, where does he come from?
We all come from the same maker. They just all forget.
As in all beings, or just beings similar to yourself?
Being similar to myself.
The Samuk.
You do know, so your people do know something. You see her like laugh a little bit. Yes.
I kind of glance at Bashra.
Bashra is like at the edge of the chamber, just like, I have no part of this whatsoever.
Okay.
She's just like, you know how the kobolds were like, please don't eat us?
This is
Bashra. Yeah, this is Bashra. It's like, please don't look at me. I don't want anything to do with this. She could eat me. We all come from the same creator. They just have forgotten because it's been so long. What you need and they still do exist. If you need, what you need to get into the city to truly help you is a Saruk yourself.
Oh,
Luckily,
What?
the Saruk are not an extinct race. They are merely a dying one.
oh,
And the reason I say this is because all Saruk have an ability that's passed on from generation to generation. See, we come from them. And the Saruk have the ability to change us at will.
oh my.
What the fuck?
How would they change you?
See, they created us. We come from them.
Of course.
We, the Naga, were to be their historians and librarians, their keeper of knowledge. And we were fine with that. For a while. Until we decided we didn't want to be anymore. So when the first war broke out, we escaped. The yuan-ti are more short-lived than us. So they don't remember any of this. They don't remember the great Saruk empires that used to span across this great continent. They don't remember the Saruk nearly had the entire world under their bidding at one point. They got fat and lazy and let the yuan-ti run everything. And then they disappeared. The problem with Anith is what they want, they're not going to get.
Well, I assumed as much. What do they want, though? Do you know?
How much do you know about yuan-ti religion?
I read a whole book about it. A few months ago. It was disturbing.
It is. So, there once was a deity known as the World Serpent. The World Serpent was worshipped by Saruk, the Saruk people. And then somewhere along the way, because of the imbalances the World Serpent had suffered, the World Serpent divided into many reptilian gods. The main one you should be concerned about is one called Seth. Let me put that in the chat. He...
2 S's. Nice.
2 S's, yes. Because you gotta have 2 S's if you're talking about snakes.
Mm-hmm.
He...
At least.
Maybe even 5. Who knows? Seth is the main deity for the yuan-ti. However, when deities stop answering the prayers of the ones that worship them, they move on to other deities. Hence why they have transferred their reverence to Zahir for the most part. Well, and Enlith at this point. What they're hoping is if they help Enlith, she will help them reawaken Seth. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. Because Seth is bound in the abyss. And there's another god masquerading as him right now. And Anith knows this, but she still promises them that she and Zahir can free Seth. Of course, if I were to tell them this, I would be spouting blasphemy. But what you need is a Saruk to help you.
How do we find a Saruk?
I know the location of one, but you would have to offer him something in return in helping you.
What would be the best way to entice him to help us? What does he want?
You see her quietly close her eyes for a moment. This particular one. If you could get him the mummy lich, or get him close, I think that would be enough. Because he still has, like Ostaruk, he still also has the ability of changing yuan-ti at will. The problem is, with this one, he's stubborn, and he still sleeps. You'll have to wake him up, and he's gonna be pretty cranky.
How do we wake him up?
How would you wake up anybody?
Some tea, a nice breakfast.
An alarm clock?
He's already cranky. We may want to be a little more pleasant.
A blowjob?
No, because that ignores consent, darling.
Oh, yes.
Pilithith is his name.
Pilithith?
Yep, Pilithith. Pilithith. I didn't make up these names.
Pilithith.
Pilithith.
Let's call him Pie.
Okay, Pie.
I'm gonna
my
call
God.
him Pill.
Pill.
Pilly.
Pilly.
Oh,
Pilly.
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 Pillsbury!
I'll just poke him in the navel and see if he laughs.
That's how we'll wake him up. Just give him a belly poke. Poke, poke.
So,
Toss some water on him.
so
Wake up, soldier!
So Amba explains, so as with most of the reptilian races, when they grow old and tired, they sleep for longer and longer and longer. He is currently sleeping. He's been sleeping for the past 70 years. So he's going to be
Enough.
very cranky when he wakes up. You can't miss him. He almost looks like a yuan-ti, except he's an albino. And he's the only one of his kind. That is, so.
So, where is he? Please tell me he's somewhere in the jungle.
Yes, he is in the jungle.
Close by.
He is very close by.
Wonderful.
Yes. That part is a that part is good. There's only one small problem. So he had taken on some consorts who guard his sleeping quarters. They're currently wraiths.
They're currently wraiths?
Wraiths, yes.
Okay, so no talking with them.
Well, you have to get past the wraiths to get to him. They guard him while he sleeps.
Yes, but no talking to the wraiths because they're dead.
Yes. They were 8 of his consorts were granted eternal life, and that eternal life That eternal life meant serving
Became-
him in undeath. Yes.
Undeath.
Yep. He's close by. I can have Bashra tell you where, lead you to his burial mound. All you have to do, defeat the race, talk to him, and profit.
Apparently, she knows meme culture.
She knows everything, apparently.
Should we?
That is her job.
Should we Heroes Feast now, since we're going to seemingly go fight a bunch of wraiths?
Sure.
Maybe once we have left the presence of Amva,
she
the
wants a
great
snack.
Amva here.
I meant relatively speaking.
Maybe Umba also wants a snack.
Maybe we do not want to invite Amva to eat anything.
That's fair.
Thank you for your help. Is
Nope.
there anything else you can think of to that we might be able to find helpful in our mission or our other missions or whatnot?
Do you want to ask about the artifact that we're looking for?
I kind of glance back at Zaitari and then we seek the artifact of Pelor. I've forgotten what it's called. My brain
Yeah,
is
I don't have it in my notes.
Let's see. Give me a second. Gotta get past. There we go.
Howler's pituitary?
Pillars. No.
It was like a necklace or something.
Okay, that's too far. The Shards of Dawn.
So he has them. I wonder where they went. I know a little bit about them. I know the hero that he killed to obtain them. Poor unfortunate soul.
Can he actually utilize them?
He can't.
I have the feeling, yes, a lich is probably not,
I assume.
Pillow's probably not a fan.
I assume he keeps it on him as a trophy of his conquest so long ago.
Who was the hero?
His name was Rohan. He passed by here many, many, many generations ago. His city was overtaken by the yuan-ti, and the leadership had been corrupted. He set, in so many words, to cut the head off the snake, if you so will. Unfortunately, he didn't make it. He was a cleric of Pelor. He was
Makes a sort of sense.
devout. He was noble, courageous, everything Pelor would want in a wielder of his
champion.
relic. Exactly, a champion. He was kind.
Can I make an insight check
Yeah.
with the way she's talking about him?
Yep.
Just give me 1 minute.
Yep.
I'm trying to catch a tarantula. Okay, got it.
I feel like you're really calm about. Oh, in a game.
Yeah.
Animal Crossing. Did you make a tarantula island?
I did.
Okay.
I rolled shit. I got a natural one.
What are you trying to glean from her?
If there was a history between her and this man?
It seems like, as far as you can tell, they probably knew each other. For
Okay.
sure. But anything more than that, you're not sure.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. But yes. He was everything Pillar would have wanted in a champion. He was a great healer
I'd like
in his
to-
own right. Sorry, continue.
I beg your pardon for interrupting.
No.
I was wondering, do you know if it has the ability to restore a man's sanity and his face?
That is very oddly specific.
It's an oddly specific ailment that we are trying to correct.
I see. Well, it did perform many
Heal.
miracles in its time. So, I don't think it would be too far of a stretch. It returned many from the dying. It cured curses that would have been almost nigh impossible. I think it
I don't know.
could
We did that with a
possibly.
bunch of blood.
I think it could do that. But, I've only seen the relic. I never witnessed this witnessed it in action. I've only heard the tales associated with it.
Interesting. Which direction is Pilitith?
She will cock her head. If you go north of here, there
North.
is a great mound. You cannot miss it, especially from the air. It looks like a bare hill. There is an entrance at the bottom of it on the north side.
And Bashra, would you be willing to lead us there?
You see Amva look at Bashra, and Bashra nearly just nods.
Mm-hmm.
Bashra will take you there.
Thank you very much for all your help.
You're welcome. Perhaps by the day's end, I will hear of the 5 houses in the City of Scales feuding again without a goddess, and she kind of sarcastically says that.
Probably be like tomorrow.
I look forward
Just-
to it.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Don't end up
Thank
like
you.
Rohan.
Hopefully not.
We will do our best.
Have a good afternoon and safe trip.
Yeah. Tilda curtsies again, and then come on, girls. Ronny.
As you guys are leaving, and Bashra is like, leading ahead. Shillin's like, oh gosh.
Yes. You held up well.
Oh, snakes. Well, let's go.
Why did it have to be snakes?
I know, right? Alright. So Bashra starts leading you towards the burial mound. And as you guys are walking towards in that direction, you notice that the trees become, and the plant life become sparser and sparser and sparser. Until you enter into what seems like a rainforest that was ravaged by a wildfire. There are trees, but they are so widely spaced apart that the foliage there's barely any foliage on them. It looks like it is in the process of somebody deforesting an area and turning it into a piece of farmland. Um, the only animal life you hear are insects. Not too many birds, and definitely no large animals. Now we can end pretty soon.
Just it's fine.
I know you guys are. I mean, this is gonna be a whole thing into the burial mound, anyways.
Mm-hmm. I figured.
Yeah. Um. So you guys trudge on and on and on, and you see it in the distance. A large, bare mound. It just looks like somebody took a lot of soil and just heaped it all into a giant pile about about probably 50 to 60 feet high. At the base, it is about 100 feet wide. Um,
And there's no like working on it. It doesn't look like it's got like stone or anything. It's just a big pile of dirt.
it looks like from the outside a big pile of dirt.
Does it look like a dry, arid dirt, or does it look like a rich farmland dirt that just nothing is growing in? Like what
When
sand?
yeah, when you get close to the dirt, it is, and you like touch the mound as you're like walking around it, as Bashra is taking you to the entrance into the burial mound. It is dry. It is dusty. It is
Uh,
like it is like all the moisture has been sucked from it, and it just
Mm.
crumbles between your fingers.
just for an important point of order, because I did mention it. After we left Anva's place, do we want a hero's feast now?
Yeah, we should do one before we fuck with a bunch of wraiths.
All right, then I will mark off his spell slot. What time is it right now?
So you guys got to the area around 6-ish, around Amva's place around 6-ish. It's probably 9 o'clock at this point.
Okay.
But Bashra takes you to the northern entrance. There is a large tunnel there's a large tunnel going into the mound, and it looks like the tunnel is actually lined with black stone, like a shiny obsidian. There are a pair
Does
of
it look worked, or does it look like some sort of magic put this in place?
It looks worked.
Okay.
It looks pretty worked. The entrance, as you step in front of the entrance, there is a bone-chilling wind that blows out from the tunnel. And Bashra doesn't say anything, just nods to the tunnel.
Ashra, if I'm assuming that you're staying out here, correct?
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. Shillin, we would understand if you wished to stay out here as well.
Yep, says Shillin.
Yes.
I'm going to stay out here, please. Even with Bashra. I'm fine with this.
We'll be back when we can, as soon as possible.
Okay. Good luck.
Do we want to start a what's it called? A
Marching order?
convoy line? Yeah, marching order. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for.
Mel's fine with going like second. I'm assuming that Raine's going to want to scout ahead.
Ideally, yes.
Or like look for traps at least.
Mhm. That's probably
but
for the best, yeah.
Mel definitely wants to be like at least second.
No, that's probably for the best as well. I think Ronny at the back because he's got decent armor when he's like in his shell, and he also can see behind him with the roll of eyes.
We might want to have Ronny towards the middle, so he's got range to do anything if he needs to cast like a area spell.
Well, he'll
Or-
probably.
If we're gonna do like a whole into the burial mound thing, do we want to do it when Kay's here? And
Yes.
that way
Yeah.
Kay can choose her marching order. So
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, Tilda's gonna try to be towards the middle back, if preferable. Is preferable, but
My perception is shit. I should not be at the back.
yeah, I know. That's why I didn't want you in the back. But
I mean, and honestly, Kay might think that Ronny would want to be in the back. I don't know. I don't want to.
no, your reasoning makes sense.
I don't want to have the cleric really far from like if we go into the mound and then like Raine and I get like hit with something crazy and the cleric's like way in the back.
How wide is the tunnel? Can we go in two up basically? With,
The tunnel is about probably about 8 feet wide, and probably about 7 feet tall.
So I mean,
Alright, so
if
we
we
could
squeezed,
walk,
but Ronnie is really
He's a wide boy.
he's a wide boy. Yeah.
Chunky.
He's gonna take up most of that 5 feet that we all have, and then maybe probably a little bit more some.
oh no,
So
it's not 6 feet wide.
No, but he's got to have like room to maneuver with his big old shell.
exactly.
No, I know.
Yeah. So you and I can probably go 2 by 2 in the back. That way. Yeah. If
Fine.
we're squeezing, and it's not going to be pretty when we try to fight.
Okay.
Uh,
I think this is where we can end it for tonight. You guys probably would be a good idea to have Ronny with you.
mm-hmm.
And
Hopefully Kay is feeling better
hopefully.
by next week.
She's probably gonna be on the mend by then. I mean, I know. I'll probably be a little bit more awake. I will see you guys next week.
Yep. See ya. All right. I'll see you
Bye.
guys tomorrow.
Yep. Talk to you tomorrow.